All millionaires do one thing better than everybody else. Of course, to become a millionaire, it's not easy. There's a lot of sacrificing that needs to be done, and there's a lot of bumps along the way. But this one thing I want to talk about in this video is something that not a lot of people talk about. And I think it's super, super important. It often gets overlooked. We hear this thing all the time, right? Be willing to take risks. But I want to take that one step further. And this is what millionaires do as well. It's not just about taking a risk. While that's important, you've got to be willing to step outside your comfort zone and try things and not be afraid to fail. It's more than just taking a risk, it's taking a calculated risk. What do I mean? Taking a calculated risk is different than just taking a risk. For example, taking a risk could be, jumping out of a helicopter, right? With a parachute. That's a risk. Or it could be going on a hike where there's mountain lions. That's a risk. But a calculated risk is a little bit different. Maybe you go on a hike where there's mountain lions, but you build this, house out of mud and things that make it harder for the lion to get into. You see what I mean? It's not about just taking a risk. It's about taking a calculated risk. And what millionaires do is they look at every situation and they say, okay, what's the best possible outcome? What's the worst possible outcome? And literally write this out. If you can think about it in your head, do that. But I have to write it down. Write it out, pros and cons on both sides. And then you know which risks you're willing to take and what the potential upside is if that risk pans out in your favor, right? So, and they do this through communication. They do this through connections. They do this through continuously learning and educating themselves about the topic, about the industry that they may be going into. They're constantly taking in information. They've got this beginner's mindset, this learner's mindset, where they don't feel like they have it all figured out. And this allows them to take calculated risks once they have all the necessary information. So hopefully this quick tip helps you. If it did, hit the subscribe button down below, hit the like button. We've got more content coming your way right here on the Constant Growth channel. See ya.